Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager, episode 68, racing in the World Motorsport Championship, aka F1. Second season here, heading into the 5th race on the season, and surprisingly, Max Verstappen is in the championship hunt. And amazingly, it's the Force India of Bo Nordstrom who currently leads. Through those first 4 races, Max has managed to win 1 race and finish second. We've had a different race winner in all 4 races so far. We have had a different second place finisher and a different third place finisher in all 4 races, and only 2 drivers have multiple podiums in Nordstrom and Verstappen. So very, very diverse group. Also, in some news, as we're getting some new parts on the car, I have jumped Renault and Force India. It is very tight between the 3 of us, 7, 8, and 9. Toro Rosso also quite close there in 6th. Williams and McLaren not that much further beyond that. But we have absolutely benefited from the new qualifying format. I'm going to stick with 10th or above, though, on my bonus. Qualifying-wise, it's really hard to get into the top 10, but you get that. That's an extra couple $100,000. 3rd or above in a race, hard to come by. 10th a little bit easier. So we will stick with that for now. Now, Tondela tire wear is high as we head here to the race in Portugal. 25 laps. That's not that long of a distance. I think the mediums might make it. So I definitely want 3 for that. Problem with the hard compound is if I do need to go more than 1, I have a feeling with 25 laps that we could end up split, 1 medium, 1 hard for this race. But if I only take 2 hard compound tires, then I won't be able to get the bonus if it does end up requiring more than 1. But we're going to struggle qualifying-wise if I only have 3 sets of softs. I wish I knew. You know what? I have a feeling those mediums are going to make it. So we're going to take the extra set on the softs. Taking a risk here. It's a big risk. 14th, 10th. Let's see if I have something new to put on. Brakes are good. Engine's good. We have a new engine. But it's not ready yet. And I'm actually not sure if that one's going to end up going on the car or not. Okay, new gearbox is ready. Both of them are 2127s. Not a huge improvement, sadly. But at least both drivers are content at the moment, not losing morale. What I'd really prefer here in the short term is to get out of Q1, but not get out of Q2. The cars in 11 to 15 have a major advantage right now in not having to make an extra pit stop. Making the one-stopper work when those who qualify in the top 10 guaranteed are looking at a two-stop race. Ooh, they've got me put by default on the hards. No. It's 25-lap race, right? So that's 17. There's 12. There's 8. 17 and 8 actually might be enough. Ooh. So one set of hards for 17 laps, and then a soft for the rest of the race. So what I actually need to do is I do need to run hards, get the bonus, and then I'll have one set for the race, and depending on if they last or not, we might have to use the mediums, or we'll get to use the softs till the end, which means I need to save one set of softs for the race. So I'll have 2 sets for qualifying, 1 for practice to get the bonus, 1 set of hards for practice, 1 set for the race. And it looks like we may not be using the mediums at all, unless somebody ends up qualifying higher up the grid, and then they'll need 1 set of mediums instead of the softs, and it would be a 2-stop race. Oh, wait. Speed balance. Heavily towards acceleration on this one. Oh, downforce also. Need a lot of downforce here. Let's bring this back closer. It could be very close to that edge. Both of these could be very close to the edge. Start from there. That'll make it easier on which direction to work. There we go. So we need to get this one adjusted as well. Alright, so we're going to get the hard tire set first. Race comes first. And let's see here what can be done. Race trim. Colton is working on that one already. Max, what is he set to? Okay, good. Race trim. They're both set to race trim here initially. Alright, we've got a decent amount of setup down already, so that is good. Downforce taken care of. Handling, speed balance, still some work, but handling's close. I'm sure it's going to go towards oversteer based on the amount of downforce required. And I'm guessing because of Max's setup way towards acceleration, I'm guessing that we're going to need more. Though it seems like a lot at this point. Ooh, 97% already. Ooh, nice. Well, it's at 97. It's not going to take much to get another 1 or 2% out of him. So, Max is going to go out and knock out those bonuses nice and quickly for us. We'll get a chance to see also where the tire heating is for these hard compound tires. Colton's still got a bit of work to do, so we're going to get him brought in right away. We'll keep an eye on him as he comes around the track. Get him brought back in next time. Okay, so it was actually back the other way. We dropped 7%. Both things went the wrong direction. So towards understeer, and we absolutely went the wrong way on the speed balance. Now the handling is literally right back where it was. We need to bring that a bit to the left. Too much. There we go. Marginal change. It's going to take a little bit to get it back out on track. That's okay. With Max nailing his down so fast, and I like this. The tire heating is good. Let's put you in attack mode a little bit more here, Colton. Get you around the track. And back into the pits. Ooh, there it is. There it is. 98%. Triple excellent. So, go finish this puppy off, huh? And look at that. Tire heating is good. We're going to be able to push a good amount in these hard compound tires. Same with the fuel mode. We'll go through that fuel burn so we can get a real idea of where we're at on tire wear. Already coming up on our triple bonus. Bring both guys in. Colton never even finished a lap, but he'll get his laps in. Qualifying. Trim. There we go. Obviously the soft for this one. Max, we'll keep an eye on to see how many laps he's completed. He's at 65% right now. And we did get him locked down. Triple excellent, 98%. Bet you I can get maybe one more if we go to 0.7. We'll try that. Qualifying. 3 laps. Now, that was 3 laps complete, plus there was the out lap, the in lap, so that's 5, plus the single lap before. That was 6 laps, and he was at 65%. So we burned through 35% in 6 laps, which means they could go about 18 laps. More like 17. Which is right about where we were expecting them, right? Alright, well, we are in cruise control now. We're going to see how these soft tires handle. They are churning through quick. 1 lap for Herda plus his out lap, and he was already down to 80%. So they do not last long. 10% a lap, which means at most really pushing it for 8 laps, and that's on neutral. But Herda's lap that time on neutral just light fuel load. Already runs 8th fastest. Max, let's go ahead and do the same thing. Speed you up a little bit. So yeah, these soft tires are not going to last long at all. We're probably going to go mediums and hards in the race. They're fine for qualifying, but we literally just fly through them. So I think I'll have the hard compound. I'll use the bonus on that one because we'll spend the majority of the race on that one set of tires. And then we'll have one set of mediums till the end of the race. Because I don't think the softs will last. Even though it says they'll go, what was it, 9 to 11, 9 to 10? I don't think they'll last 8 laps. They really don't look like they will, just based on practice here. It looks like they'll 6 or 7 laps at the most. Okay, we nearly have what we need, so Colton will go back out there and finish things off. Max, I don't even think I'm going to bother sending him back out. He's coming in this time, but we are very close to the triple bonus we need. And there it is. Bring him in. And we are done for the session. But Max, I did make that small adjustment, and it was a good one. Okay, we got to 99%. Alright, practice is done. 4 minutes to spare. I like it. Max, only 13th fastest. But both cars clearly looking a lot better. Until the last couple weeks, we've always been in the back on practice, even if we pushed on qualifying. We rarely got out of the back. I mean, there's been times where I went hard and fast and ended up near the top, but that's been rare. A few tenths of a second between the two drivers. Big gap. Oof. From 7th on back. Who was the one car that squeezed up there? Toro Rosso, 2nd, 3rd fastest. They're finding some good time here. We actually split one Mercedes. Lando Norris did not have a good practice session, but then you see that drop off to the McLarens. But Toro Rosso looks real fast this week. My goal is to be eliminated in Q2. Like I said, there's a real advantage to not having that extra pit stop in the race. You might be a few spots higher up the grid, which we're not looking. You know, if we were like Mercedes competing for pole position, there's an advantage to getting into Q3. But if you're only just squeaking your way in, if you're getting 8th, 9th, 10th place, you're at a disadvantage versus being 11th or 12th or 13th because you're guaranteed an extra pit stop. So the track position in a few seconds is definitely not worth the 22, 23 second pit window that you're having to take that extra stop on. Plus those tires are gone so fast, so got all purples, big happy smiley faces. Dry, grip coming. I do have tires to spare. I've got, 3 sets of tires for qualifying? My goal would be to have one good clean run here in Q1 and have 2 sets of tires left for Q2. So we're going to wait a little bit. Track trying out. Grip improving. 8 minutes to go in the session. Max was a little slower in practice, so I might get him out on track first. Maybe we'll we'll go at the 5-minute mark. 5.5, just to be safe. Alright, take a look. Do I have some space? Maybe, maybe not. Alright, Max. Here we go. Keeping an eye on the mini-map as we try to get the tires warmed up and not overheat the brakes. And a little chicane coming up. Slow down for that. Slow down. Tighter turn here. Now speed up on the exit. I don't think there's going to be too much slowing here through this chicane. No, just light on the brakes. Heavy braking here. Take it easy. Coming out of the chicane, we speed back up. Yeah, a little bit of slowing there, but not much. Heavy slowing here. Boy, it's hard to get the tire temperatures up on this one. And never did. They're cold, and the brakes slightly overheated. Still have 4 minutes left. That took a minute and a half to get set up. And another 10 seconds to get around, so about a minute 40. So at the latest, I need to get Colton out at 2 minutes to go. Max still on sector 1. Half a second off the pace already. That's not good. That's going to be towards the back. After sector 2, he's still losing considerable time, nearly 0.8 of a second down. He's looking at about 1.1, 1.2 for the lap, which will definitely put him near the back. Last place by more than 1/10 of a second right now. I'm going to want to get him out there again if possible, and I don't think there's going to be enough time. So Max is going to get eliminated here in Q1. So let's get Colton out there. Let's get him going. A little earlier than expected, but, well, yeah, I needed 2 minutes or 2:10, and I'm not going to find that. So we need to push a lot harder to get these tires up to temperature. Just going to hurt the brake temps a bit, but, well, now I've already got him up to temperature, so we're going to be able to go easier. I don't know why Max had such a hard time getting the tires up to temperature. Is he that good about tire heating? Okay, perfect. A little overheated. Let's see if that leads to a better lap as he's ready to start. Just over a minute left in the session. He's got lots of clean air, so I like that. Max, not enough time, so he's done. Max is going to start from dead last unless Colton does even worse, and I don't think he will. That was a pretty poor time from Max Verstappen. Colton Herta, similar 0.4 of a second down after the first sector. Just 20 seconds left in the session. Just a few cars left out there. Better by 1/10 of a second is all. But will he lose a full second here on the final sector? Max nearly did. Oof, ouch, both of them. Bad times. Fuoku is done, so we're going to be starting from the back. 18th and 20th. I'm more worried about the race, so that's okay. That is okay that we are this far down. But a little disappointing because our cars shouldn't be that slow. We should have been able to get out of Q1. Meaning we should be anywhere near a half second faster than we were. So, pretty poor lap. Last car, Harold just finishing up. And there you go. 18-19. Savannah, Diaz Sanchez, and Fuoku are eliminated. Valdez gets into Q2 for Prima. A rare feat for them. As we're starting to distance ourselves from them. They are the team that got promoted this season, so they're the ones that are really on that back foot, trying to establish themselves. Margasov for Red Bull goes fastest in the first session. Let's see what happens in session number 2. As we are out of contention for now. Giovinazzi for just a moment was actually on top of the timesheets. There's a lot of cars heading out for a second lap now. A lot of worn tires. A lot of those times already will be it. And yeah, there was no changes at all. So Ocon, Carlos Sainz Jr., Marilinen, Valdez, and Nakashita are eliminated. We've got one Williams, one McLaren, one Force India, and one Toro Rosso joining the Big Six. Very much a split field for that top 10. I would give Ocon a really good chance in this race, along with Carlos Sainz Jr. And Marilinen, potentially. Those three could be competing for a podium in the race, thanks to the qualification rules and that time they're going to have to spend on those tires. Those early pit stops coming from all those top 10 qualifiers. Alright, 4 minutes to go in the session. Mick Schumacher on top of the timesheets right now, but almost everybody heading out for one more. And Mick Schumacher was all purple again. So Mick Schumacher is going to be on the pole. Joseph Newgarden for Ferrari is second. And Gata is third. We have Mercedes, Red Bull, and Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and then Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari. Force India goes seventh. The Toro Rosso, Williams, and McLaren. Van Dorn didn't even put in a time. Did he crash? Why? Or it's just blank because he never came out on a time, most likely. But Van Dorn apparently had no tires left, so he's going to settle for P10. So Mick Schumacher goes fastest in the last 2 sessions. So probably a deserved pole. And we're ready for the race. Just 200,000 on the line if I can get into the points today. And even though we are starting from 18th and 20th, I firmly believe that we are good enough to make it there, to get over that hump and get points almost every race now. It's not going to happen every race this season, but I think we should be able to get just about there where we can get at least one car into the points almost every race weekend. When you add in the weight stripping, when you add in all the problems that other cars experience, and when you add in the qualifying and those first half of the grid having to take an extra stop, we can hold off some of those cars, and we can definitely beat some of the others in the bottom half of the grid. Even if we qualified as low as we did, only beating out a single car, I think with the bonuses, the proper use of strategy, that 30% bonus for 75% of this race will be enough. Everybody's got bonuses in qualifying. But not for the race. They'll have some bonus, but they don't get the amount of bonus we get. They don't have the weight stripping and so on. Alright, well, we will push here early on. See if we can't gain a few positions out on track. My expectation is we'll have to go to the mediums and not the softs. Depending on how things are going, we could split strategy that and try to put one car on the softs, one car in the mediums. It really doesn't matter because both cars are carrying the bonus regarding the set of tires we're on right now that we'll be running. But unless they are staggered enough, if they're close to each other, there might be one car starting a lap sooner. That car would probably be the ones going on mediums. And somebody going a lap later, well, we might try the softs. We'll see. But with that, we're in Tondela for the Portugal Grand Prix. We're going to get 5 red lights up and ready to go here and getting a look at those guys that are locked in there on softs. And they're all... Margasov's going to be pitting very soon. And so is Harrell. That's going to hurt for Harrell. Already just 9th place. And then going to pit within a lap or two. So we've got mediums for Ocon and Sainz. And then everybody else on the hards. No, Fuoku only on the mediums. So that could hurt their strategy. So on the back 10, there's what, 2 cars on mediums? No, 3. 3 cars on mediums. So I'd say there's a good 7 of us that are going to be competing for a one-stop strategy and potentially going for podium places. 1 or 2 of us getting there. And then probably the likes of Mick Schumacher or something being in it. But 5 red lights are up and out, and we're going to go racing. And both cars with a decent start, but same with cars in front of us. But there's the stack up, and we've got a Renault running wide. No, that was not a Renault. That was a McLaren that ran wide. That was an orange tint, not a yellow tint. Great stuff there by Herta with the late braking, but he still is stacked up behind a number of cars, including the Renaults and one McLaren that's still around. It is Merliinen who made that mistake early on, but Herta is now up to 15th. He's purple in Sector 1. So, best start of anyone on the grid. Max Verstappen trying to work his way up to 18th, fighting with Esteban Ocon, who had a terrible start from 11th, already back there. And Herta gets a look to the inside, trying to find 15th, but now it's going to be the outside. He's going to have to defend behind him to the Prima car, and he does successfully, so 15th after 1 lap. Meanwhile, it is Max still behind everyone there in 19th, just fighting with Esteban Ocon for position. That doesn't help when you're that far back. I'm going to go ahead and stop the fighting and put him on medium. Let the fuel conserve begin. It's fine that Ocon's ahead. He's on medium tires. So that's really not the guy I need to be racing side by side with and losing time. He's already a couple seconds behind his teammate back there. Alright, now this back stretch with that little chicane is definitely the place that we want to be using. The ERS front stretch is really short, so this could be our first chance to use some here now, because you can see there's not really any braking. You just kind of let off the gas a little bit. And Herta is 14th and gets an inside look to the Renault to push up to 13th. Meanwhile, Max is in 18th. He's gotten ahead of Merliinen. Ocon's not the one I'm worried about, but he's still just half a second behind him. Oh, Merliinen moving back ahead. So Merliinen making... Harrell has already stopped. Margasov is stopping now. Remember, those two were on the double-used tires. Herta, we're going to defend this time. And successfully extending the gap on the Prima car. Fuoku is going to be able to challenge because of those mediums, but here in a lap or two, those mediums are going to be too far gone to be effective, and we'll be able to open up the gap. So if we can keep him behind us, we should be able to distance ourselves from him in the near future. Meanwhile, Nakashita is in a car that we could and should outpace in the long term, so we should be able to get that one as well. And Herta already looking inside-outside for some opportunity to make a move and get around him. It's time to drop down to neutral before we overheat these tires. Let's go ahead and use that ERS, keep that distance on Fuoku, who apparently those tires have already hit that point, as Fuoku did not have the grip on the exit, and we pulled away from him. Meanwhile, let's check back in with Max. He is a little ways behind, but he's got some ERS saved up. He's got some fuel saved up, though we do need to turn down the mode here. So, Harrell and Margasov, the only cars behind, they both stopped, but you can see most of the top 10 pitting now this time, and both cars able to get around. Max, good little distance there. It's Harrell who's closest. They pit the earliest. Gata is the one car that came out in between my two drivers. Max, a little far behind there. Let's check back in with Colton Herta, who is now in P11 and very much in traffic. That is the Red Bull that has just gone by. That is Ocon, who we've actually apparently gone back into battling with in front and behind, and a whole bunch of cars coming out of the pits there in front and behind. Lando Norris has stopped and came out in 3rd place. Mick Schumacher stops and comes out in 10th. They must have double stacked. They must have double stacked the Mercedes. So at the moment, P11, P16, we're in a pretty good place. A little bit worried about both cars being down to 60% right now, as I would have expected them to be at about 65. Not sure how the Prima got ahead of us, but he has. And Fuoku, we fight to try to get back ahead. It does not work at the moment. I should have waited till this zone coming up. Ooh, no, no, no. Don't let the Renault get by. Come on. Hold him off. Yeah, I wanted to keep Fuoku behind us, but somewhere while we were watching Max, he got ahead. And that's a little worrying. Now it's the Ferrari coming. Not worried about that. Leclerc will get by. Don't need to defend this one. This guy's behind. So that's down to P12. Okay, Max, who's down to 18th. Almost full on ERS. We're going to step it up here and try to make a move. Let's go ahead and turn up the fuel mode as well. Oh, he got blocked. He got blocked, but we had some extra ERS. He does make the pass in the end. It gets around Giovinazzi, but Giovinazzi, who kept his ERS on for a long time, I think he just burnt everything he had, gets around. That's Margasov in the Red Bull, so we're not going to stop him, and that's Max back down to 19th. Ouch. Go ahead and ease off and relax a little bit. Not doing so well. It's Van Dorn behind. That's one car that we might be able to keep behind. Van Dorn will have to pit again. Fuoku has pit, so Herta is now in P11. Just a little burst there. And we're going to need to back off. We're on lap 10, and yet we're already down to 45% tire wear. I don't think we're going to get as far on these as we needed to, which means we're definitely looking at both cars going on the mediums to try to get to the end of the race. This is Bo Nordstrom. Bo Nordstrom, the points leader in the Force India. He should not be this much faster than us. So Colton, I need you to step it up a little bit. Yeah, we're not even halfway through this race, and it feels like these tires are not going to last much longer. P11, P19, there's a lot of cars in between us, but it's only 4 seconds. Max is not out of this race yet, but that's a lot of cars stacked up within a 4-second window. Current leader Carlos Sainz Jr. is coming in for his pit stop. He started on the mediums. Lando Norris moves back into the race lead. Herta defending against Nordstrom. He's a little bit off the pace right now because of the neutral. He's hanging on for now. Alright, so quick check-in at the halfway point. Lando Norris in the lead. Joseph Newgarden and Mick Schumacher are back on top. Okay, non-stoppers, Savanin all the way up in P4, so I knew that Toro Rosso was pretty fast today. Gata has already stopped once. Nakashita has yet to stop. will stop soon. Ocon making those mediums really last and up in P7 now. We've been racing with him side by side, but as the tire wear gets down, we're about 4 seconds behind him now. Valdez has not stopped yet. Carlos Sainz, Leclerc have both already stopped. Sainz just recently stopped, but he won't make it the distance on those, I don't think. Herta is P11, a little bit lower than I would expect at this point in time. Verstappen way lower than I would expect, so our one-stop strategy on these hard tires not paying off so well as Bo Nordstrom has gone around. Remember, he has stopped once already, and our tires are kind of right at the end of their life, 27% now. We're going to have to stop fairly soon. What's worrying is it's only lap 14, so I'm not sure if the mediums are even going to be able to go the distance. Let's do a quick check-in. I'm not planning to pit yet. 12 laps is the expected on the mediums, which means we would be able to go the distance at this point in time, but I'm still not convinced, especially that these hard tires are where they're at right now, when I expected to get 17 out of them, and we're barely on 14 right now and already struggling. We've got a yellow. It is Savanin. Oh, Savanin in 4th place has crashed and is out of this race. Herta moves up to P10. We have gone around the Haas. Did we? No. No, we did not. So who is that? I thought I saw a gray car. It is Nordstrom. Okay, I'm just seeing him from the gearbox. Margasov has gotten around though, so we drop back to P11. We are now at 19%. It is time to bring in one of the cars this time. Let's bring in Herta. We'll put him on the mediums. Car's in good shape. He should be able to run a little faster on the mediums. Max is going to run one more lap. I'm going to tell him to attack. And Herta comes out. Let's go ahead and put him on to high. And wow, look how far back he is. He is in last place by a big margin. And he's the one who's ahead right now. So this is not good. Gearbox a bit worn. Max going to pit this time. Currently in P15. Right ahead of him, the Renault of Diaz Sanchez is going to pit as well. And we are closing him down at the moment, which is good. And we're getting by. Good. So Diaz Sanchez really off the pace this lap as Verstappen. Really a good in-lap for him. Making up some quality time on the lap here. And he's in. Quick stop, no problems. Back out. He will definitely be ahead of the Renault. We're going to keep him on high. And yes, he is. So he has gained, between the in-lap and the pit stop, has gained a position. Ahead of him, Valdez has a warning light. Let's see, where is he? There he is. Ooh, not much of a gap between the two cars anymore. So Verstappen really, really ran well and cut the gap down a bit. And Harrell has crashed, so there's one more position. But I still don't like how far back we are. Now, Maryline and Diaz Sanchez are on hard tires till the end of the race. Herta, worryingly though, need to be careful. Not certain he'll make it to the end. But Van Dorn, Giovinazzi are in this time. And we're going to get just ahead. Giovinazzi coming out just behind in last place. That was his second stop. And Max, come on. Not yet, not with the chicane. Hit the exit. And don't lose another spot. Come on, defend. No, we're both using ERS here. And get a look to the inside of the Renault. Oh, no. Come on, Max. On the exit here. Yes, defend. Good. Ferraris are in, or Primas are in. It's hard to tell. They're both in the red. P15. but really struggling to defend against Giovinazzi. Even though he's on hard compound, we should be able to outrun him. But the Toro Rosso has been pretty fast. It has. Okay, Newgarden's definitely going to pit. Gada's going to pit. Margasov's going to pit. Nordstrom will pit. Schumacher's going to make it the distance. Morris, maybe. Sainz, very iffy, but maybe. Nakashita should make it the distance. Nordstrom pitting now. So we could still move up. We could still get into the points. But right now we're only in P13. Let's check back in. Colton, a bit further up the track. He's got 2 cars just in front of him. Nordstrom, who just pit, comes out just in front of us. And Marilynen's going to be a little slow, and we could potentially get that position as they are on the hard compound. Now, why are you overheating? We're overheating these tires? Really? These tires shouldn't overheat. That's a little worrying. So P13, P16, there will still be a couple more pit stops ahead of us, presumably. Otherwise, those guys are going to definitely fall off the cliff and go slow to the end of the race. So we've got Gada out front on a one-stopper at the moment, trying to hang on. Not sure if Gada's going to make it or not. Gada could be pitting this lap. I would presume that Gada's going to pit right now and relinquish the lead. Yes, into the pits. Gada pitting. So that's going to bring the Mercedes back on top. Gada's already out. Down pit road's going to drop to 4th place, maybe 5th. It's going to be tight. Comes out just ahead of Carlos Sainz in the Williams. So that is now Lando Norris on top. Joseph Newgarden in 2nd, right on their tail. And Mick Schumacher in 3rd, all within 1 second. Joseph Newgarden on the soft tires now goes to the lead. Norris is just trying to hang on in those medium tires. I'm not sure they're going to last. Mick Schumacher is probably going to get around Lando Norris before too long as well, switching the Mercedes in 2nd and 3rd. Gada on hard compound tires, just pit, comes out on hard tires. So that's apparently all they had left. Meanwhile, we're still P13, P18 now. So Verstappen in last place. Go ahead and go to overtake mode, as you definitely will make it the distance. But Herta, not doing so well. I've got the ERS at least, but let's go back to neutral. And we're going to try to step it up, and right away we open a little gap to the right. No. We'll ignore it. It's only 2 laps left. You'll make it. Both cars now on attack mode. You're in last place already, so we might as well try something, right? 13th, 17th. 18th, I mean. Oh, you're fighting with Fuoku. Let's step this back up. Tires are going to make it. They are going to make it, so we're going to be able to push a little bit here. And now's a good time to start that pushing. Coming up on the Prima. Gets a look to the inside. Now the outside after the chicane. And completes the pass. So P17, Fuoku back to 18th. Meanwhile, Herta, though, is out of the points. A lot of cars going with the one-stopper here. Final lap underway. Go ahead and attack this final lap. Give it your all, guys. Give it your all. Colton coming up on the end of the chicane. We've got lots of ERS to use. P13, P17. Joseph Newgarden going for the win. It is Lando Norris for 2nd. Gada has moved back up to 3rd. Mick Schumacher is in 4th. So he's actually fallen back, even though his tires were good. Sainz stays in 5th. Nakashita is 6th. Ocon, Valdez, Nordstrom, Van Dorn. We are not going to make it into the points. P13, P17. Max couldn't quite catch up to the next car. At least he was not last. He did get past Fuoku, but not a good race for us. We beat one team, was all from the looks of it. And surprisingly, it was that best of the rest team, the Toro Rosso, who actually ended up last on the day. So no points picked up. That's pretty disappointing. A lot of cars were able to go with that one stop, and we just didn't have as much pace as I expected, especially on that hard compound. We were quite a bit off the pace, despite that 30% bonus. The hard tires are just slow. They were slow. Apparently a 2-stopper with running 2 sets of softs and 1 mediums, if you could make it work, which Newgarden did. I'm not sure my guys could have made that work. So it would have ended up being 2 sets of mediums and 1 set of softs. Would have been a lot faster, because we were definitely faster on the medium than we were on the hards. But we were so far back, we weren't making any progress on the hards. And then the mediums, we kind of just ran about neutral, about average compared to others. So pretty poor. All the guys around us on the 2-stoppers besides Diaz Sanchez, and we were able to split him at least in the Renault. The other Renault, though, Nakashita, same strategy, all the way up to 6th place. Yikes. In fact, he was the second highest of those on the 1-stopper. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars ran the 1-stopper. Got to the end of the race on it. So most of the back of the grid. All but the 2 guys that started. Ocon. Ocon. 2 sets of mediums and was able to go the whole race on him. Dang, son. Boy, if I could have pulled that off, that would have been phenomenal. That would have been fantastic. We got 10 laps and only had... we could have gone 11, I think. I think we could have gone 11, maybe squeezed 12. There's no way we were squeezing 13 on those. Wow, Ocon. Good for you. Alright, well that's going to do it for this episode of Decathlon Gamer. Remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Down to 5th place. Bye for now.